Step in the box, sports cards fans. Welcome to another episode of Batter Up. What's up, John?
Hey, doing well for a Monday. This was sort of last minute. Didn't do a whole lot of prep like we do for a normal Thursday show. Didn't want to, we still want to do the Thursday show this week, but there's some stuff going on today that we figured we'd jump on and maybe just talk about it. Obviously, we're not insiders, so we don't have a ton of information that we couldn't get from other sources. Our sources, we don't have any sources. Our sources are the same as you guys. Watching a YouTube video that was made, I think I counted 3 of them now, that kind of speculated on whether Fanatics had indeed bought Panini America. And it appears that the Bench Clear Media team was sort of first on this lead. I have a speculation that Ty, I don't know Ty personally, but I really like his stuff. He is really good at having great relationships with a lot of insiders around the hobby, a lot of hobby shop owners. He talked to the guy Marcel quite often from the Vegas area. I'm going to guess that somewhere in that channel is where he got his information from. He will never probably tell it, but that's kind of my speculation. And then the Sports Card Radio, who's kind of like the TMZ of sports cards, they also said the same thing today, and they said they kind of knew about it for a few weeks. So I think we kind of have to take it and say, well, it could happen. It probably did happen, but we can't confirm anything, and that's not why we're here. So, Brett, what are your thoughts on this news today?
I had a feeling that they would purchase Panini. Fanatics would purchase Panini. I'm not surprised by any means. I can't wait to see this go official because I believe it will go official. And like you said, we're just going off of what these guys said. And between Sports Card Radio and Bench Clear Media, those guys are pretty legit. And the monopoly might hurt. Chris just put that in there. I could see that. The one thing that I like about the baseball side of it as a baseball collector, now you have Prism Baseball and Optic Baseball and Select Baseball, which could be really cool. And there's a lot of other stuff that I like about that.
I think the thing that intrigues me the most about that is how quickly, if this is indeed true and they found a printer and that's why this all happened, how quickly can they ramp up, or do they want to ramp up with Topps Chrome basketball again and Topps Chrome football and, definitive football or whatever, name your flagship kind of Topps Finest, another one I didn't mention. How soon do they have the desire, if that's there, to start implementing those almost immediately? I'd love to see it sooner rather than later. That will avoid somewhat of the monopoly, even though it's the same company, but it will offer the consumer a little bit of choice, which will hopefully bring down the potential to really try to take advantage of that monopoly. It's funny. I kind of also saw this coming, and I way back, I just kind of thought there's no way that this won't happen someday. Even many speculated the fact that the Panini, brand was kind of separate. They already bought Topps. They didn't really need Panini, but there were so many. And that one today, just kind of people got emails. I don't think I won, but all the Fanatics exclusive products from Panini. Hello, they had a relationship that was there already. And we just saw more of them, which made me think they're not going to give all that up. I don't know. It just seemed too obvious that would happen in the end. Just didn't know when.
Yeah, I mean, not having the basketball or football license, just there's no way, man. There's no way to survive for them, really. So right. I'm excited, but the thing about it, I mean, I don't know about you, John, but I mean, it's already hard enough to buy the Bowman, the Topps Chrome, the Update Series, the Series 2. Yeah. I mean, and then I don't know how much I'm going to venture into buying, the other products. That's where you're like, oh, man, all of a sudden.
It's just so true. It is an ecosystem, right? Because you want to be able to buy all that product if it's good, if it's, I brought a couple props with me. I'm not going to rip any of this tonight. I'm not going to advocate for. If I did, I'd rip the Topps Chrome. Maybe it's decent, but I've got a Prism basketball blaster with me just as a prop in case you want to talk about that. But you're right. If you had Topps Chrome basketball or Prism baseball in a licensed product, many of us who've kind of grown into this ecosystem over the couple of years, you're used to buying all your baseball products from one company. You're used to buying all your basketball products and football products from another company. If all of a sudden all these licenses are combined, while it's good for branding and while it's good for stuff that we've missed out on, you can't go too heavy on this. There's only so much money in the hobby to go around. And I can certainly see that being an issue where we would have, a lot of consumers saying, I just don't have unlimited budget. I can't keep buying and buying and buying if I'm not selling a little bit to sort of recoup my money, if that's your thing, the open product. Now, from a end user standpoint, if you let other people open the product, you can definitely take advantage of the fact that there's going to be a lot of choice out there when it comes to good rookie cards and things that you really have your eye on. I myself am more intrigued by the Topps brand being able to make the football and basketball products, because I thought neither company's perfect, but I thought the way that they did the product releases and sort of design of the cards, simple design, executed better somewhat than Panini, but executed well. I think that would be the trademark would be simple design, easy on the eye, executed well. That's what you like to see when you want to have a card with great eye appeal and have, good long-term potential of owning the right card. So I could care less about Panini Prism Baseball, to be honest. Cards are a little too busy, in my opinion. But maybe Fanatics can fix a little bit of that. Although, I don't know.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, there's a lot going through my mind right now. A couple of them is like some of the downtowns for baseball now with the logos would be so cool to own.
Oh, sure.
Like
Sure.
what's their National Treasures baseball with logos on it would be amazing product. Yeah. I know that like.
No, you're right. A lot of the higher end or different products. I kind of forgot about that, but the inserts might be, or is just the one-offs of the the real expensive products, the flawless and the National Treasures, like you said. If you could make those licensed products, wow, those would be really cool to look at.
The last thing I have, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I have no idea what kind of, since Fanatics has already budgeted in purchasing all the licensing stuff. Again, I don't know what goes all involved. They spent a ton of money.
Right.
And now they've acquired Panini. But please, now that you have a monopoly, please don't print 1 million of both of them. Maybe they can get Chrome and Prism back to a reasonable where there's some good hits and the populations aren't monster. You know what I mean?
Keep the value of the box. It doesn't have to be immediately like you open every box and it's, a $30 box is $100. No, it doesn't have to be like that. But keep the box where at least you feel like you have a chance, if you bought 10 of them, to have one of them be pretty good. I felt like Prism football this year, you could have bought 20 of them and they all would have sucked.
Get me back to 2018 Topps baseball products, because you could actually open those products and pull some golds and short prints and not feel like you have to open up 20 blaster boxes, Oh,
Thanks,
what do we got here?
I appreciate the comment there about hit the like button. I'm really bad at that. I don't know. My channel only has like 120 subscribers. I did break 100. I haven't put out like the greatest content. I've tried to put out little snippets here and there. So yeah, hit the like button on Brett's channel. Definitely, everybody appreciate that. So I have a couple more thoughts, and we didn't want to stay on here too long. Could talk about this for hours. Honestly, that'd be a lot of fun. We got Monday Night Football coming up. We're running against the clock to try and make sure people watch the game. I think it's the Seahawks and Russell Wilson coming back to Seattle. Like now that he's on the Broncos, should be a good game. Should be a very fun game to watch. So my other thoughts on this matter when it comes to Fanatics and Panini have mainly to do with the fact that the the product releases and sort of the backlog that Ty mentioned in his video, saying they may not be able to produce any product for months and months and months, and there's going to be like an uptick in the products that the breakers already have on hand, because they've got to break stuff, right? That's their lifeblood. So if they don't have anything to break, what are they going to break? Topps Chrome Baseball this year? They probably weren't planning on breaking a lot of that, but if it's available, they might have to. Going back to Prism Basketball or back to other products that have already been released that are available. Bowman's another great example. Are we going to see a run on Bowman? I think it could happen, but I don't think this was not well thought out. I think they thought far enough in advance. It could be as simple as they've already been working this. They've already got the cards designed. They just need to queue up the supply chain. Supposedly, if this deal went down, and Fanatics certainly owns this card printing, venue that was kind of the linchpin in all this. If that's the case, I'm assuming they had a plan for how to get the machine ramped back up. I don't think they just simply turned the lights off at Panini and stopped designing cards, or stopped designing cards at Topps or whatever. So I'm assuming that that's probably playing into a little bit. So I wouldn't be as kind of pessimistic as Ty was in his video, where he said, well, it could be months. It could be 6 months and they don't have anything. I'm not sure I believe that.
I agree with that.
It could be weeks. It could be stuff can get printed and packaged relatively quick if it's made stateside. I'm going to guess they might already be printing some of that product. They just aren't allowed to sell it on Panini anymore after October 1st if this deal is indeed true.
Hey, one last thing I had about this was we were talking there. I thought about this coming from some of the things we're mentioning at the National this year. Fanatics was offering Topps exclusive breakers to sign contracts there. I wonder if they were doing that to like pinch Panini as well, or maybe they were telling some of the big breakers, "Hey, look, we're buying Panini. Sign with us. You're going to have everything." I would like to know those kind of back. Like that's the stuff that we don't have access to. We're not blowout. We're not late sports cards. But I guarantee you that those guys kind of knew what was coming. It'll be
going back to what I said earlier. It was pretty obvious the moment you look at what's sold on the Fanatics website already. It's a lot of Panini exclusive products that are all these raffles. Those are very popular. They're not giving that up. No. They're not.
No.
They're going to do more. So yeah, that was pretty obvious. So I know you didn't want to make this, like I said, too long, Brett.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Other topics. So your next topic, what you got?
I had Albert Pujols at 697 bombs. 21 games ago. We just looked right before we got it. 21 games ago. They finished the Pirates with, I believe it was 6 games at the end of the season, 6 in a row.
Yeah.
He's going to break it. He's going to get over 700, I think.
I think he's going to. He might even get it by the end of this week. If people continue to pitch to him, I mean, he's gonna have pitches to hit. So I think he's going to do it. I think, 3 home runs in 21 games. Yeah, that was Barry Bonds' kind of ratio in his heyday. I think it was like 1 every 5 to 7 games or something like that. But Pujols has hit quite a bit here in the last week to get to that point where he's almost on the cusp of 700. It seems like many people believe he stayed out of the steroids, stayed out of the riffraff there when it came to baseball in the early 2000s, kind of late 90s, where he didn't have – I think there was an age thing with Pujols, though, that did kind of ruin his reputation a little bit. I think he was older than he originally reported, and that's where when the Angels signed him to that contract, thinking he'd be like 40 by the time he was actually done, he was actually already older than that by the time he left that team. But I think he's like 42 now or something like that. But anyway, I think he's going to break it.
Yeah, he has 5 games with the Reds.
and
in in
and 6
7
more with the Pirates.
it's actually it's 6. So there's
6.
11 games against the 2 worst teams in the Central, and their pitching staffs are terrible. I think
Yeah,
he's got a real good shot.
I think
Oh,
so.
wow.
So,
And then what's your takes on some football? Your key takes
yeah,
football.
I watched a little bit yesterday. I had some other stuff going on. I couldn't watch all, the whole time. I was in and out. I will say that my Colts, they sucked. They were terrible yesterday. They pulled a tie out. I think they could have won the game, but Matt Ryan did not look great. Jonathan Taylor looked awesome, as he normally does, because their offensive line's really good. But yeah, I think the Colts sucked. I think the Packers sucked.
Man, Rodgers got beat up.
Yeah,
I watched that game in the afternoon, and I had to wear this today because I've been trashing the Bears like crazy. They are not good, but
you recall yesterday I sent you a message actually right as he almost threw a pick. I said, man, that Justin Fields is such a good NFL player. I cannot believe 31 teams passed on him. How could that happen? You had to know that was pure sarcasm because he was like 7 for 12 for like 44 yards up to that point. I thought, this guy sucks. He's terrible.
And they won the game.
They did win the game.
You got to keep it in perspective. That I'm a realist, so like I'm excited, but they were bad. And the 49ers, they made a huge mistake. Now again, it was pouring rain. The conditions were brutal, but I mean, Trey Lance didn't look any better than Justin Fields. They were both equally bad. Yeah. They were bad.
Who from the 2021/2022 rookie class looked the best yesterday, in your opinion? I saw a little bit of Davis Mills, so I know what he looked like. I didn't see any Trevor Lawrence. I didn't see any of Trey Lance. I really didn't watch that game. But did anybody stand out to you as like, wow, that guy was a lot better than we thought? Because Zach Wilson didn't play.
Zach Wilson didn't play. I didn't see. I saw Lawrence. They were down and they came back. I didn't see him play. I did see Hurts had a decent game.
Okay.
Who are they playing? The Lions?
Yeah.
Tua, how did he do yesterday? He seemed to be. I know they won, but I didn't really. I didn't look at any QB stats today.
Yeah, I didn't look at all the. Shame on me for not doing. We were very, very last minute, folks. If you're watching, we just wanted to jump on here and talk about the potential that Fanatics did indeed buy Panini. But we also want to talk a little bit of our first reactions from week 1 of the NFL season, talk about the Bears winning, and also talk about Albert Pujols. So I would say Davis Mills, he has nobody on that team that's a supporting cast. It looks like they signed O.J. Howard, and O.J. Howard played well yesterday. And yeah, Lions suck. Although I would say Green Bay might suck worse this year. It's just I don't want to overreact.
It's early.
As a Green Bay fan, I've learned to live with the fact that we're going to lose in the second round of the playoffs every single year. It's just what happens. And if we don't, that means we didn't make the playoffs because we're not going any further than that. So when you have low expectations like that, anything is a bonus, and you're not disappointed. So.
Yeah, the one other game I took some stock in was the Steelers and the Bengals, and boy, Joe Burrow was bad, and Mitch Trubisky was not all that great. Goes to overtime. Steelers take him down.
Justin Herbert was okay yesterday. The Raiders and the Chargers, it was a close game. I think Keenan Allen left that game. I don't know if he ever came back, but I saw a highlight that he left the game at one point. So he didn't have a lot of supporting cast there. It looks like the Chargers are okay. Mahomes, I don't know if you already mentioned that, but Mahomes played a lot better than people thought.
Wow, dude.
He was lighting it up, but it is the Cardinals. I'm not sold on the Cardinals. I don't think Kyler Murray's a guy I'd ever invest in. I always get a kick out of that. Sports Card Radio plays this clip with Jeff Wilson saying that he thought Will Greer at one point was a better investment than Kyler Murray. I don't think either guy is a great investment, but I sure would think Will Grier is way worse than Kyler Murray. But I will say it here confidently. I will never buy a Kyler Murray rookie card. I will never buy. I have zero in that guy will never be a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. It just won't work out for him. I could be completely wrong, but that's the opinion I have. That's not a player I would invest in. Only week to week, trying to like take advantage of like upcoming. If you could get him really cheap now because he sucked yesterday, and then try to sell him 2 weeks later, maybe that would work out. But there's no way I'd invest and hold great cards of that guy. I would be selling.
Yeah. And probably one other thing, not to go with Murray, but QBs, Dak Prescott being out injured first game.
Yeah,
that's brutal for Cowboys fans because
they're really going to get to see the great Mike McCarthy coaching come to the forefront. As a Packer fan, I had to live through the years of Mike McCarthy making the most boneheaded plays at the end of a first half or end of a game with time management. He was terrible. Without Dak Prescott to cover up his liability as a coach, I think you're going to see that team suck.
Yeah, they're going to be bad.
I don't know. It'd be so kind of real quick. Who were the standout teams that sort of surprised us yesterday that thought, wow, this team's really got it put together. They could be potentially really good this year. I think the Chiefs were better than people thought. I think the Chargers were exactly what you thought you'd get. I think trying to think, the Eagles were they're not much defense, but they're good. The Dolphins, wait and see. It was the Patriots. If they won, I don't know how great Matt Jones is going to be this year. That's the team I'm not really sold on. I got to be honest. I didn't really prepare a lot for this. We'll have more.
Yeah,
I'll give you my complete rundown of what I think could happen this season with the NFL. Once I have a time to kind of really sink into the box scores and look at what happened and what materialized game to game.
Tons of competitive games. You look at the Falcons, Saints take them down by a point. Steelers and Bengals, overtime. The Bears-Niners game was competitive. I did not watch the Eagles-Lions game at all, none whatsoever, but the score was 38-35. The Lions came back because they were down big. The Dolphins-Patriots game, 20-7. All these games seem to be pretty competitive. The Commanders beat the Jags 28-22. It's just there's so much football yesterday. It's crazy.
The Titans lost right at the end of the game. They had a chance to kick a field goal and win, and they missed it.
21-20. There it is.
That was. I think at one point they were up 13-0 or 20-0. It looked like it was a blowout, and then Giants came marching back and got Saquon Barkley in the end zone right at near the end of regulation. So
I watched the Bears game, watched the Bucks Cowboys game last night. That was just a field goal kicking contest basically for the Bucks.
Right.
But that was a fun first week, and then we got an awesome game tonight. I'm looking forward to that game.
It's just one game tonight because in years past they've gone 2 games.
Yeah, it is weird that they didn't do that.
They didn't do the West Coast double. Well, I guess they were already West Coast, so maybe that makes sense. They didn't have an East Coast game to start early at 7 o'clock hour. That's already going on. That would have been fun. I kind of liked it when they did that, even though you could never stay up on the East Coast to watch all those games. When I was living out in Oakland or the Oakland area, I was always used to take advantage of that double Monday nighter for the 2 years I was out there. That was fun because both games were over by 8:30. It was great. It's the only thing I liked about living in California was the time zone.
That is a pretty good deal.
There were other things, but for the most part, would never go back.
Before we wrap around
into this, move to Indiana. It's a lot cheaper. You like it.
Yeah,
Winter's not that bad. Joey Chestnut loves it. So
love Joey. Hey, before we wrap around and maybe talk to Bishop because he posted.
Okay.
What were you doing before you came on?
Me?
Yeah.
I was redeeming home run challenge cards.
Me too. I got 25.
I saw yesterday that Wander Franco was back. I saw that he was playing, and I thought, and he hadn't hit a home run yet. And I thought, I got 4 of them. I got to throw him in there. 4 consecutive days trying to hit his first home run back. So hopefully I didn't screw that one up. But yeah, I got maybe 10 to 12 more to go. I've already redeemed like 25. So
I got a bunch in. I will say this: it was the first time I've redeemed any all year. If I would have known this, I would have done them sooner. But those codes are way easier to scratch off this year. They come
yeah,
off
I
like
scratched them
butter.
up with my fingernail.
Yeah,
Which I wish the redemption code. Somebody needs to make a video about a redemption code. If I ever pull one of those tops, I'm going to record me scratching it off because it's dreadful. I actually have one in the mail right now that I sent to Tops, and it was a Paul Goldschmidt auto numbered to 50 that I should have got out of Series 1, and I could not even read the code. It was I scratched it like as gentle as I could with a dime, and all it was just a bunch of gobbledygook, and the thing completely rubbed out. So hopefully, Tops, if you're listening, Tops, I'd like that card. Got that from a Meyer blister pack. It was one of the best hits I had all Series 1. I would love to have it instead of have you guys tell me that you won't redeem it because the code can't be read. Honestly, it's not my fault. Your codes on your redemptions absolutely suck. Do what you do on the home run challenge cards. Those are great.
The redemptions used to be just like that. I don't know why they changed, but that was so good. And another thing, I wish that the Tops, the people who do this would have to do them themselves in a bunch of them, not just one, a bunch of them, because all the old codes from the years, they're listed. I got to scroll all the way down, put in the code, click on the button. It's just a few processes. It just takes a little too long, but I'm glad to get those in. Hopefully I'll hit some of those. And
I hope
we
so.
had some college football in here, man. I don't want to get into that rabbit hole of getting into college football tonight because we could go on forever. Maybe on our next show, remind me. This weekend I watched the Manti Te'o thing on Netflix about his fake girlfriend. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I feel really bad for that dude because even as a Notre Dame fan, I didn't really understood all that happened. But if you get a chance and you're into that kind of stuff, go watch that. It opened my eyes. I feel so bad for that guy of what happened because
that's
it's brutal.
So
go ahead. Hit them with the Panini Fanatic stuff here again.
Want to circle back on this as we wrap up?
Yeah. Why don't you hit it, John?
Okay, so the word on the street, to recap, for those who just joined, if you go back to the original part of this video, Brett and I just wanted to do a real quick ad hoc batter up to talk about the potential news that Panini was bought today or bought recently by Fanatics. The Panini America was sold off. Many are speculating that was a lack of a printer, that Fanatics somehow put the squeeze on them. We don't necessarily have any sources ourselves. We're not that big time, but we did want to talk about what it means to the potential hobbyists out there, the consumer, what to expect from it. And I think we'll probably talk more about this coming up in the near future. Definitely we'll be interested to see if Card Talk or one of the other podcasts that kind of has a major following, Sports Card Nonsense. I know they recorded a show today. I haven't seen it come out yet, but I'm sure we'll see more big time talkers in the community talking about it. And that's when you know it's real. So if it's talked about on Sports Card Nonsense or Card Talk coming up this week, by the time you hit Thursday, this is real. It's happening. Question is, how quickly can they get the inverse of these products in our hands? Prism Baseball and Topps Chrome Basketball. As soon as possible, right?
Man, that would be fun. I would love people to hit the comment section after they watch this. Like, what do they want? Like, if you could pick one crossover.
Yeah, favorite crossover product. What is that? If I had to say what mine is, I'll let you go first.
I miss Topps Chrome football a lot.
I personally would love to see Topps Chrome Topps Chrome basketball.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, Topps Chrome basketball would be my favorite. Second favorite. The question is, what Panini product would you like to see licensed most by a baseball product? Because I think the obvious ones are the ones that go the other way. But if you looked at the Topps products that are licensed right now, and go that Panini route, what Panini licensed product would you like to see first?
So I'm not, you know me, and people on my channel know me. I am not a high roller, but the Panini side, Nationals Treasure Baseball, we talked earlier, that is one that is better than most Topps products, in my opinion, of the high end. And if they get trademark logos on that product, wow. I mean, that's when you wish you were a high roller. But if you're a high roller, that's going to be an amazing product. Because I actually think it's a good product as it is, and it should be worth more. But it's just without the logos, people aren't spent. I mean, it's a nice product. I love that product. But man, there's so many options. It's going to be crazy.
It'll be fun to watch. It's fun as a collector to go to shows, I think, and get your hands on some of these, at least to hold them and see what they look like again. For me, the best crossover, you mentioned National Treasures are like flawless. I think an optic in a baseball product with like a downtown or something like that. I know Topps tried the home field advantage cards, and I think they have another one called In the City or something like that. I'd love to see that type of product be licensed. I think that could look cool. And then I think the other football product that I would be interested in might be like Topps Finest football. I'd like to see that again.
So I never get on their website because I just don't. I just haven't purchased from there. I didn't have any luck. I don't really like their website that much. But I was just kind of looking like, I totally forgot that they have UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's UFC. Wow. I'm a NASCAR fan. I never buy NASCAR cards. I was just kind of looking to see what else they had on there. You know, they got the soccer. They got a lot of products.
F1 Prism.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
F1 National Treasures, F1 Flawless. That would be amazing.
Wow. There's a lot to go around. I mean, hopefully they can, again, I'll go back to what we talked about earlier. I hope that they can take all these products, have more options, but keep the collectability and the print runs down of certain products. You know what I mean? Like, we all know Topps printed 1 million boxes of Series 1 this year, and it hurt the product. It's hurting the product.
Right.
You know,
I ran the pack odds for what I could get my hands on, and actually I do think I can report they either printed the same as what they did last year of the Chrome that's about to come out, or slightly less.
That'd be good.
Based on the two odds that I saw, which was the Prism refractor and the regular refractor, the odds of pulling them out of last year's box product was 1 in 4 and 1 in 8 respectively. I think I've seen 1 in 3 and 1 in 6, so it's less. Now we'll have to wait and see how that plays out, but that could be good. And then it was available on BJ's, like you sent me the link. I haven't bought any. I love Topps Chrome. It's one of my favorite products. Like they just look good. I guarantee the cards coming out of the box, if they're centered with color, refractor, they're gonna look amazing. I know the checklist is kind of meh, but they're gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
And whether you're at a card show or opening boxes, you're gonna want to see those cards because they're gonna look pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're watching now or later. BJ's had I loaded. I don't think it went for sale, but it loaded. And I think, what was the price on those?
$34.99.
$34.99.
People were speculating. I heard a lot of people, and I myself probably said, I think it's going to be $40. And then there's a guy I follow. I think it's Big Al's Cards. He said that the rumor on the street was that it was going to be $34.99. And I thought, well, that would be a pleasant surprise because that was the same price that it was at Meijer last year, if you could find it. And I was a buyer then at a Meijer for $35 on like a Saturday morning. Sure, I bought my 2 or whatever. But at a Target for $34, $35, it's not bad. The checklist is a little better than last year because it's got more star power and there is potential there, but I don't expect. I would if I bought 10 of them for just for fun to say it replaces a hobby box. I wouldn't expect to pull anything crazy, but I would expect to pull maybe 1 or 2 autos, which would be the same as a hobby box, and maybe like 5 parallels. That would be nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Friday, I think hobby's coming out. We'll see when retail hits. So
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting watch. Watch a lot of breaks on that one. Watch what happens with regards to whether you actually can pull the J Rod or the Bobby Witt or the Spencer Torkelson, C.J. Abrams, those short prints. See if you can actually pull them in a case. If you see case breaks and you're not pulling that card at all, that means they're extremely rare,
yeah,
very hard to hit.
you're not going to
If you're
pull them
seeing
in retail.
2 of them out of every case or something like that, then it tells you, okay, they are in there. They are had. They're just not in every box. So,
Yep.
yeah. Any final thoughts? You want to close this one out?
No, man, I'm excited for the news. It's good to see. Figured we'd get on
Yeah.
here and rip off an episode, talk about it. Thanks to everybody who's in the chat. I'm sure some people are starting to see the news as well. And
I didn't expect to read that when I came home Monday from work.
neither did I. I was like, oh man, let's send you a message right away and it's like, let's do a show right now before football starts up. So
yeah, this was definitely a fun idea, and I'm glad we did it. And for those who are regulars, we will do another Thursday one, I think, this week, provided your schedule works out. We should do a Thursday. We'll have more prep work into that, so it won't be kind of quite as disjointed. I'll have my copious notes, as I always do, to rattle through a lot of highlights of things I want to talk about. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. Brett, what's the tagline?
until next time, peace.
Peace, everybody.